welcome to this. Since the title says, this will be my review of PWG's DDT4. Yes, two DDT, listen to me. Two PWG reviews in 1 week. That's a rarity. I had the Wrestle Reunion show for a while. I had it since WrestleMania weekend, and then DDT4 came out. Finally got that. I was looking forward to that. Got a few other things from High Spots too, but that's beside the point. Other than always buy your stuff from High Spots. Always buy your PWG stuff from High Spots. Never PWG. I hate saying that because, you know, I'm always like, you know, support the company directly. But yeah, just a fair warning out there. But anyways, all of that said, let's get on with this review. If you don't know what DDT4 is, I cannot even remember what the actual name of the tournament is, but they just call it DDT4. It's the something tournament is the name of it. But it is PWG's yearly tag team tournament that they have every year. And I was looking very forward to this tournament this year because this was definitely a stacked tournament. There's at least, well, there was 3 of the best tag teams probably in the world in this tournament, and then a bunch of other, really good teams as well. So I had very, very high expectations for this show, and really didn't meet them. In some ways, I was disappointed with this show. And saying that's kind of weird because this is still a pretty fucking great show. But I still was kind of disappointed with it because honestly, it could have been better. And it was what it was. I mean, but this is an awesome show. I don't want to act like it wasn't an awesome show. Just that my expectations of this show were really high. If PWG is only going to put on 12 shows a year, and this is one of my things with PWG, then every show, literally needs to be amazing. If you're going to put on these super shows, which is pretty much what they do, they put on super shows. Yeah, there's some stuff, that goes from show to show as far as storylines, but not a lot. I mean, because you're not putting on a lot of shows, but still, if you're gonna do this type of thing, then you do need to put on like super shows, and they need to be really awesome. And that's not taking away from this. I'm just saying that you do have to do that sort of thing. But let me get on with the show. First match we had was Willie Mack and Brandon Gatson taking on the Young Bucks, which I find funny, but, well, we will get into that. Young Bucks have always been kind of like the guys in PWG, as far as that goes. And this was a really good match. I wouldn't say great. It got to the point where they were just kind of doing moves to each other, which was what it was. They kind of did their thing, and it was a really good opener, and probably this match was probably about as good as I would have expected. So good stuff there. Then we had American Wolves versus the RockNESS Monsters. This match was weird. I really felt like this match went on forever, even though it probably didn't, but it felt like it went on forever. It was still pretty damn good, but it just felt like, geez, this match doesn't need to go on this long. And then the finish was still weird. There was a lot of gate booking. When I say gate booking, what I mean there is you don't finish the match when the peak of the match ends, or you even if you finish it at the peak, you finish it in some way that the fans are just like, what was that? That was very much kind of here. It wasn't so much that it was like, what is that? It was just like the peak hit, then it fell, and then they ended the match, and it was kind of just like, eh. We had the Cutler brothers versus the Kings of Wrestling. This was a little disappointing to me because I do like the Cutlers, but to be honest, they in my opinion just didn't come to, I don't know. I mean, they're in there with 2 guys that definitely can go, and they messed some stuff up during the match. On top of that, they just didn't look like they belonged in the ring, and part of that was the way they were booked. Also, the end of the match, again, you peaked, and then you ended the match like after you peaked, and you ended it in a way where I was like, wow, that's the ending? I mean, it was a good ending, but it was still like, after what we'd already seen, it was like, wow, that's the ending. Yeah, just not not my sort of tea. Then we had the Briscoes versus Kevin Steen and Akira Tozawa. This was really good too. Nothing again. You would think this would be a great match. It was just really good, which I know sounds like but a lot of fun. This was a fun match. They did a lot of funny comedy stuff, and it was probably the different match than what we'd seen from a lot of other stuff. So that was good. Then we had American Wolves versus Young Bucks. Again, the finish here. This was going on awesome. This was just awesome stuff. And then the finish here again just was like, wow, really? You're gonna finish it like that? Come on. Then we got Kings of Wrestling versus Kevin Steen, Tozawa. This was awesome. Even and the finish here, I'll just spoil it. The finish here was a roll up, and the finish on the American Wolves and Young Bucks was a roll up. This roll up was much better. This is how you do a roll up, and not the other way around. Well, it was kind of a roll up, I should say, but it made more sense. Then we got a Joey Ryan Gauntlet match. Basically, Joey Ryan came out and said he was going to face the winner of a Gauntlet match. This, that, and the other. The Gauntlet match itself was kind of sucky, not going to lie. And then Candice LeRae ended up winning it through help through Joey Ryan, because Joey Ryan wanted to take on the girl. And then she kicked his ass for most of the match, and it was pretty awesome, not going to lie. So it went from a kind of shitty match to an okay match. So there we go. Then you had the main event, which is Young Bucks, Kevin Steen, and Tazawa. Wasn't feeling this match. They came out, they started using chairs right away. They came out and and then Tazawa gets like knocked off to the back, and he's off to the back for probably about 5 minutes, and the Young Bucks are working over Kevin Steen, and they can't put away Kevin Steen, and I mean it was a long like 2-on-1 like sequence, and I'm like, what's going on? And Tazawa finally comes back. He's a house of fire. All of this stuff happens. Probably too much stuff. I mean, eventually the match, because I was just like, wow, this just is not doing anything for me. And then by the end of the match, they had grabbed me, and I thought the ending was good, but I think the wrong team won for one thing, and I understand they probably, for storyline reasons, but to the way they booked the match, the wrong team won, my opinion. But still, it was a really good match, just not a great match. Overall, I thought this was still a pretty great show, or pretty awesome show. Not quite an amazing show, but because there was just, I don't know. Again, I watch PWG stuff, and there's just something lacking. I don't know what it is, and particularly like during the Gauntlet, because I knew I wouldn't really get to know who a lot of these guys were, so I was actually listening to the commentary. Good God. I don't understand. I guess people find the commentary funny, and in my opinion, I don't know how you could listen to a whole DVD with the commentary on. It is god awful. It takes away from the matches. Almost I just do not get it. I don't get why you would do it this way, but they did what they did. But overall, just as I said, definitely check out the show. If you love tag team wrestling, check out this show. Just really, really awesome stuff. Not gonna lie. Even with my kind of complaints about it, this was definitely an awesome show, and definitely well worth the money. Not gonna lie there. So with that, I'm out. Have a good one, and later.